We begin chapter 1 with the story of Coach Paul Brown. Now, most of you have probably heard of him because he's the founder of both the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. But the story that we get from our book today comes from when he was a high school coach in 1928. He had a slow backfield and needed some help, and he searched the rule book and found that the only thing it said about the jersey was that it had to have a number on the back. There were no other rules. As a result of that, he cut footballs long ways and had them sewed to the front of the jersey so that the other team thought that every player on the team had the football when the ball was snapped. He did that to slow the defense down and speed up his tailbacks to try to help them gain ground with the football. The story of Coach Brown will go on throughout the entire course. So this is something that you need to read in the book and get as comfortable with as you possibly can. Don't just read what's on the PowerPoint here. Go through the entire thing, learn, study it, get the information as best you can because it will be referenced throughout the entire course. For a lot of the rest of the chapter, there's a lot of terminology. And the two key terms are right here, ethics and morals. Now, you probably think that that's the same thing, but that's not it. Ethics is the study of the principles of human duty, or the study of moral and mental qualities, whereas morals pertain to your actions. So you need to figure out a way to differentiate those terms. And I'm not going to go through all the terms that are listed on this PowerPoint. You should and get yourself comfortable with them and use this terminology when you're doing the discussion boards and when you're answering questions throughout the remainder of the semester. Here's another ethical dilemma for you to consider. It's from the movie The Legend of Bagger Vance. In the movie, Randolph Juna is played by Matt Damon, and he's competing against two very well-known golfers when he inadvertently touches the ball as he's trying to move some debris. Now, he told his caddy that he needed to take a penalty stroke, a one-stroke penalty, but his caddy tried to talk him out of it. He said it's a stupid rule. No one saw it, and I will never tell. But Juno replied, I'll know it, and so will you. The story will continue. On this slide, it references the two opponents who, if you're a golf person or really even a sports fan, you maybe have heard of Bobby Jones and Walter Hagen. And they didn't want to win on a technicality. They wanted him to play it through, but he refused. Even the people running the tournament tried to talk him out of it, and he just would not take no for an answer. They told him, it's getting dark. Maybe you didn't really see what you thought you said. His answer to that was, the ball was here and it moved to here. And you can see it says at least 2 inches away. So they assessed the penalty. Here are some questions that you should consider. Was he heroic, stupid, or honest? And now that you've read that, consider Coach Brown again. In light of the statement made by Juna in the movie, did Coach Brown play by the rules? Here's something interesting I want to point out as we get near the end of the chapter. Most of us, according to the textbook, want to be known as honest, truthful, responsible, and altruistic. And we want people to think of us as being fair or concerned with others, even if we're not. So it doesn't matter how we actually act. We want people to see us as honest as they possibly can. You should take time to read the story of you and Jill on page 10 and assess your feelings on it. And then on page 11, the story of XYZU. And that will be all I will talk about for this chapter. But you need to consider the entire thing as a whole and everything that's within this PowerPoint when you use the discussion board and then when you do this week's homework assignment.